Hi everyone, my name is Angela from Angela Stitches and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'll be talking about all the things that I worked on in January. So I'll be talking about the finishes, the things that I started this month, whips, and some knitting projects, and I'll also talk about my plans for February, some new things that I'm planning on starting, and some old whips that I want to get back to. So let's start with the new starts, the things that I started this month, and the first thing I have here is Merry Christmas Santa, and as you can see I finished this Santa last week I believe, but this was my third Mill Santa, and yeah, I just love stitching on perforated paper. I think everyone knows that by now, but there's not that many designers who does perforated paper projects. I think anything can be stitched on paper, but the unique thing about stitching on paper is that you can, and Brooks Books does this really well, I think, is that you can add on things on top of the piece or like the main piece, or even behind it, like the Wings of the Angel designs by Brooks Books. And I think Brooks Books is the only one who's doing that kind of thing. Mill Hill does have a lot of small paper ornament projects and designs, but nothing like Brooks Books, where it's layered with different elements and components to make up a sort of a three-dimensional design. I think Sasuma Street has some paper ornaments, and I think she uses sequins in her designs, and I think that's really pretty. I've never tried one of her designs yet, but I think I saw a picture of it on her Etsy shop, and I think it looks really pretty. But yeah, let me know if there are any other designers who design on perforated paper. I would love to check them out. But yeah, so this was a new start in January, the Merry Christmas Santa. And then I had another new start, which I didn't really do much of, and that was the Dreamer. I started this and then I started knitting. So this one was in the back burner and still is kind of. I only worked on this a day or two, maybe two, I'm not really sure, but I really want to get back to this. The Dreamer was my unicorn design, and I finally got the time to start it, but all I did was just start it. I didn't do anything much of it. So I'm just hoping to work on this a little bit more. So I'm going to have this out until I start my next new Mirabilia, which I think I'll start on the 14th. I think I said the 15th in one of my other videos, but 14th is a Sunday and I have more time in the weekend. And also I think it'll be fun to start something on Valentine's Day. But yeah, so I'm going to have this out until then, and I'm stitching this on a 40 count fabric called Caraway by Color & Cotton, and I'm stitching this 1/2. So yeah, hopefully I'll find some time to work on this a little bit more before I start my new Mirabilia. But yeah, so those were my two new starts, and then let me bring out my finishes. So I finished three things in the month of January. So Merry Christmas Santa that I also started this month, and then I finished Jamaica Santa. I think I started this one last December, but I finished this month, and I think I have three finished Santas so far, and I have one more to start, and I'm going to FFO all of them at the same time. So I'll be doing that whenever I finish the last one, which is the Wales Santa. And then I finished and FFO'd Snow Angel, and this was an easy finish because it didn't have that much to add on, except for the star. The back looks like this, and for this one I added a thin cardboard in between the stitched piece and the backing felt, and I talked about it in my other stitching vlog, so you can check those out if you want to. But yeah, so three finishes this month, and I think that's pretty good. And I started knitting this month, so I'll talk about that. So I started learning how to knit this month with my mom, and I knitted a scarf and this pair of socks. And I'm working on a cardigan right now, but I'll have a video of the scarf somewhere here, and it's going to be the same clip that I've showed in my other stitching vlog. So I finished that. So that was my first project, the scarf, and then I started my socks, and I finished this last week or the week before, I can't really remember. But after this, I started my cardigan right after. and I'm still working on the cardigan. I'll have a clip of it here because I left it in the other room. But yeah, knitting really took over my cross-stitching time. I'm having so much fun with it, and what I like about knitting is that I can wear it. It's really fun making it, but really cool that I can actually use it. So yeah, those were my knitting projects, and I'll add some pictures of my mom's projects because we both started learning at the same time. And so she made a hat and a scarf, and she's almost done with her cardigan. And I think she's doing really well. So yeah, that was all the knitting stuff. And then the whips. So the things that I worked on this month. So Sleeping Beauty. I worked on Sleeping Beauty, and I think I did work on this a lot. I did all of this on top here, starting from these roses all the way to this end. And it doesn't look like it's a lot, but these are really tiny stitches. And also the border here as well, which was kind of boring to do, but yeah, so I stopped here, which is here in the cover picture. And because this is stitched on a 40 count, this doesn't look that big. And I really like this size. Sometimes mirabilias are kind of intimidating just because of the size of it. But stitching it on a 40 count is not a bad size, I think. It's still big, but not that big where it's kind of scary to get into. Fairy Idol was really big. I did that on a 32 count, and I think it's one of the bigger designs by Mirabilia already. Sometimes I still can't believe I finished Fairy Idol. But anyways, why am I talking about Fairy Idol? So I'm going to have this out until I start my next Mirabilia, just like my Dreamer. So if I feel like it, I'll work on it. And then I also worked on two angels, and one of the angels that I worked on was the knitting angel. So I started on the angel, and then I already had the lamb finished, and I finished the basket this month. And I already talked about this in my last stitching vlog, but I'm going to add on paper to the bottom of this because I didn't have enough paper for this angel. And so with this, I'm going to work on this in February and try to finish it and FFO. I want to at least have one angel FFO'd every month, so I think this will be the one for February. And then I also worked on the baking angel just a little bit. I worked on the couple of the smaller items last night, which I'll talk about more in my next stitching vlog, but I think these smaller items are so fun. I say this every time, but it's my favorite part of Brooks Books designs. So yeah, I'm going to work on this. I guess I'm kind of already talking about my plans for February. So yeah, I'm gonna work on the Dreamer, Sleeping Beauty if I can, and the Knitting Angel and the Baking Angel. So another thing that I want to work on next month is the Christmas Angel, and I only have the gold paper for this, and I looked again and the angel is actually stitched on brown paper, which I can't seem to find in Korea right now. So I guess I'll start with the wings and other things that I can do for this angel until I get the brown papers. And then because it's February and there's Valentine's Day and everything, I want to work on something that has roses. It's one of my favorite things to stitch, and I have two things in mind, two whips, and I haven't worked on them for over a year, I think. I don't even remember the last time I worked on them. But the first thing is Rose Quaker, and it's by, I can't pronounce this name, but here is the designer. But I really love this. I think it's really pretty. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count, and it's a even weave, and I'm doing this 1/1 half stitch with the called for DMCs, or actually it might be 2/1. I can't really remember. Oh, it looks like 2/1 half stitch. So yeah, I think I want to at least get one or two motifs done. So maybe I really like this one, so maybe this one and this one. I think those are really pretty. And then the next whip that I want to work on is Bliss by Justnan. I really love their designs. I really like their banner type designs. I think it's really pretty. And I got this as a kit with the embellishments from Fancy Works when I was in Indiana a couple of years ago. And I haven't seen this in so long. I don't even remember how much I have on this. And this is the embellishments. the specialty floss in this bag, and then beads in this one. And I'm stitching this on, I still have the tag here, 32 count Carnival Belfast. I think this is a Picture This Plus fabric. Isn't this so pretty? So yeah, I forgot that I did this motif. I remember now. So I need to do the same thing right next to it, and if I remember correctly, the next row of stitches are done 1/1, and it's a quote, and it's kind of hard to read, but I remember it says to do it 1/1. So yeah, I hope I could get to that this time. And this had some specialty stitches as well, which was kind of intimidating at first, but I ended up really enjoying doing them. So super excited to get back to this one. I think it's really pretty. And then I want to start 2 new things, or 3 actually, but I'm not sure if I could manage all of it because one of them is going to be a Mirabilia. But the first thing that I have in mind is this. This is by Blackbird Designs, and I want to start this rose pin cushion. I'm not sure if I want to finish it into a pillow, but for now I just want to have it started. Let's see if there's a bigger picture of it. So yeah, I think this is really pretty, and because this is pretty small, I think I want to do it on a 32 count, and I'm going to choose my own colors and convert them into coloring cottons. So really excited about this one. And then the second new start I'm planning on starting is one of the freebies by Brooks Books. I'll have a picture of it here. And I started the October cake last year and totally forgot about that whole series. So I'm going to start it again with the February cake. And when I started the October cake, I said I wasn't going to do the beading, but I think I want to. So starting with the February cake, I'm going to start adding the beads to it and fix the October cake when I get to that one. But yeah, I think it's really cute, and I'm going to do them on a 40 count, so it'll be a small project. So yeah, that's my second new start that I'm planning on starting. And then the last one is a Mirabilia that I want to start, and I have all of the Mirabilias that I have with me here, and I only have 6, but I'm gonna let you choose my next start because I love all of these, and it's really fun to ask my viewers to choose and vote what I work on next. So I'm going to show you the options, and if you can please write it in the comments, the name of the Mirabilia you want me to start next month, and I'll start the one with the most votes, and I'll choose the fabric after it's decided. So the first one I have here is the Kiss, and with this, because it's a pretty much a full coverage piece, I'm just going to do this on a solid color fabric, but yeah, this is a really pretty design with a lot of beads, which I really like. So this is the Kiss. And then the next one is Princess Tatiana or Titania. I'll have the names on the screen when I edit this video, but I really like this one because of the wings. It looks like it's see-through the way it's designed, so I really like that about this one. And then Garden Prelude. I really like this one because of the dress and the long black hair and the violin. I really love the dress and the flowers, but the flowers are nice, but I'm not sure if I want to do the architecture around it. I'm not sure about the flowers too, actually. I'm still thinking about that. I really think it didn't need the background with all the flowers because the dress is already really decorative, but it is called Garden Prelude. But if I do this one, I think I'm 80% set on skipping the background. Um, but yeah, and then the next one is Rose of Sharon. I really like this one because of the roses, and I was thinking about adding roses onto this pillar as well, but I think I like the asymmetricalness of it, so I think I might just keep it the way it is. So this is Rose of Sharon, and the next one is, this might be the smallest design, the Baker's Wife. I think you can definitely tell the difference between the older designs and the newer ones. It's much more vibrant with the color choices, which I'm not against. I think it's really pretty. And I love all the details on this. Especially the dress is really, it really reminds me of Kristen Dunst's version of Marie Antoinette with the cupcake she's holding. So this is the Baker's Wife. And then the last one, I really like this one too. I like all the Mirabilias, but I think this is kind of spooky pretty, if that makes sense. And this is also the only mermaid that I have, and it is called Lilith of Labrador. But I love the beading pattern on it, or the pattern the beads are creating. I think it's the best part of this design. So those are the options. I'm going to be really happy with any of these. So if you can vote for whatever memorabilia you want me to start next, and I'll start the one with the most votes. And in my next stitching vlog, I'll let you know which memorabilia was chosen. And I'll choose the fabric for it and get ready to start. Well, depending on which memorabilia, I'm going to decide to dye my own fabric or use whatever that I have in my stash. I'm trying to find the time to dye my own fabrics, and I'm planning on getting one of the fabric dyes, but I can't choose which color yet. So I think I'll start with tea dyeing or coffee dyeing and start from there. So yeah, I guess that's everything that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but I'm not gonna do this year's Linen and Threads Mystery Cell. I saw the first part, and I don't think I'm all that into it. I really like the idea of using pottery images, but I think I'll skip this year. So no Mystery Cell for me this year. But yeah, so those are all of the things that I worked on this month and my plans for February. I hope you liked this video. I'm hoping to do this every month. I think it's a nice way to have everything in one place for me to watch back later and see if I met my goal each month. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my stitching vlog. Bye!